This is how most of the farms you see online sound like. And that's why I made this machine. You see, every design around has the pistons firing every time there's an update, and they have the minecarts going around, and there's so much noise, and I hate that. So I came up with this. This is a 3-wide tileable design, which is really compact. It's not that expensive. I'll show you the list of components. This is module A, and this is module B with some of the optional bits, for example, lighting and some nice to haves. Now, if you wanted to use Sugarcane, you do need to waterlog something behind that. But other than that, they're really similar, both in price and performance, and both can be turned off. They probably remind you of some existing designs that use a 1-to-1 piston to observer ratio. Do keep in mind that those are bound to be faster, but then again, you need to have the minecart going around constantly to pick up the loot. And with this design, it's different, right? Because it only harvests on chunks of 3, and the minecart would only move when one of the sections triggers. You can also put one in front of each other, right? Like this, or you can have it just one side and have a glass or a wall, whatever you want. The footprint is overall not that bad. It's pretty self-contained. The only thing that sticks out a bit is the minecart unloader and the trigger switch that I have, sort of like power on and off. And if you stay till the end, you will see actually how it will connect this. It will not be a lever, it will be fully automatic. Now, the first parts of this build are really simple, so I'm gonna do a small time lapse or sped up build, and you can see the placement of the blocks. There's gonna be 3 modules. It's gonna be A, B, A, so it's gonna be really easy to follow along, and if you see any discrepancies between them, then you can just see the other, and they're all gonna be fixed along the video. My advice is you start with the track first and lay it down, so you can see a clear footprint of how the build is gonna look like. Now, the timing of these repeaters is really important. They need to be set at 4 ticks to avoid what is called like a double pulse. When you see a target block and a transparent block like a slab, you also need to use that specifically. It can be any type, but it needs to be a slab. For your block of choice for base on the modules, you can use anything you want. You can use mud, like I'm doing here. You can use dirt, you can use sand. But you will see me turn it down in a bit because I forgot that, honestly, if you have this space anyway, just add the waterlogged leaves. So down the line, if you decide you want to do sugarcane, the change is going to be super easy, and you don't need to worry about adding or breaking waterlogged blocks, which sucks. Here you can clearly see the timing of all the repeaters and where the redstone is placed. Mind you, I forgot a piece of redstone on the right. You can clearly see that. It's going to be added later in case you miss it. Just keep that in mind. Now for the glass. Now the roof is really important, right? This is how we control that this can be turned off. And we can tie this with a smart storage system that can detect the level of a chest and only turn on the farm when it falls below a certain level that we determine, which is really easy to do with some comparators and some redstone signs. Look at the direction, right? Repeaters need to be on the right direction. Depends on which side you want your input to be. Then it's going to be one side or the other. Just be aware of that. So this is an optional upgrade, right? You can have the note blocks with the repeater, and then you can have the copper bulbs with a comparator. And the difference is simple. When you turn the farm off, the one that will be flush is the copper bulb, and the other one will have one sticking out. However, there is an advantage to having the note blocks, which is a native double pulse, which means when you turn the farm back on, it would automatically harvest, and the copper bulb will not. You need to have a double pulse like I have right here. I will show you where I have this tower, which is my input, just to have the button, and then the copper bulb holds the signal, right? But then you will see these two comparators, which is where I have a second pulse that goes right after, pretty much. I turn it on, which is to force that second pulse on the ones that have the copper bulb. And that should be a solid block. And finally, just to pick up the signal and send it to the minecart, you can have the observer instead of other types of block like we had here, right? We had slabs here. So what I did is replace, optional, the middle block with an observer, and then pull that signal down, extend it for a bit, and then feed it into this, which is a minecart unloader. It's a compact, simple design, really easy to use. And the way it works is really simple. When the minecart goes over the hopper, it will send one item which will power off the rail, and the minecart cannot move until all the items have been unloaded. Really easy. And then I have this small input bit, which is the green block. That is the one we're going to connect to the line of observers that you've seen before on the other machine. And as soon as we get the signal from the observers, that's going to enable the whole circuit to behave normally. And if we push the minecart to simulate the movement, you can see that the rail turned off, it's not moving, and it's unloading, and it will not move until it's done, basically. And as soon as it's done, give me a second. Okay, you can see it takes off. It's quite easy, and we can tie it all around here. Okay, you can see the same setup with the same torch, and this is what stops the minecart and stops the noise, and it makes the whole setup a lot friendlier and a lot nicer to work with. And here's where we get the signal from the observers every time there's a harvest, and when that happens, we power the signal to the minecart and go around. Do remember you need to extend the length of the signal to at least 2 ticks, otherwise it will not be enough to power off the torch. And that's it. That's pretty much all the improvements. Now, the blocks up here, they need to be blocks, right? They can't be empty, or they shouldn't be empty, or you're going to lose items. But they can be any item you want. I do recommend, and you do need this, especially for sugarcane, to have some sort of light solution every once in a while. If you don't want to use glowstone, you can use jack-o'-lanterns, but honestly, everything works. That's it, really simple. Now, I'll show you the way you're supposed to use this, right? This lever, honestly, really silly. So let me take you there. Okay, here's the whole point of this farm, okay? Now, this is a double chest that is coated so it always holds half of a chest, right? And as soon as I take some, this will turn on, it will send the signal to that farm, and we will start refilling the chest. See, as soon as it hits the full double chest, it will stop taking items because the hopper will be locked, but it will still receive everything that comes its way, but the farm will be off again. See, no need to have it running 24/7. Only when you need it. There we go. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Oh wow, you made it to the end screen. Next time I'll show my storage solution. It's gonna be fantastic.